If you own a vehicle, be it a car, a truck, a motorbike, or if you operate a car, a truck, or a motorbike, this show's for you. We have Marcus on from Driver Technology, and he's going to explain why what they have developed applies to just about every vehicle on the road. Actually, I take that back. It does apply to every vehicle on the road. Let's get into it.
Welcome to the Trucking Risk and Insurance Podcast.
Marcus from Driver Technology, welcome to the Trucking Risk and Insurance
Welcome, Mark.
Podcast. Hey, Marcus, can you start off by introducing yourself to the audience and telling us a little bit about you and Driver Technologies?
Yeah, no, sounds good. Chris, John, thanks for having me. Great to be here. My name is Marcus Newbery. I'm co-founder and COO at Driver Technologies. We started this company back in about 2017, late 2017, early 2018. My co-founder and I actually grew up in small town New Hampshire together. We've known each other for 30-something years now, probably since we were about 4 years old. Well, yeah, so I think that's pretty critical to to a successful startup, is to have that, not only that professional, capability of working together, but also close, trusting friendship as well. It's bode well for us as a business. So I live here in small town New Hampshire with my family. I've got three young children, and I enjoy, pretty much doing everything they love to do outside. Summer's here. We just celebrated the end of preschool, the end of kindergarten, had a couple of family parties at the house, and it's summertime for the kids. So great time of the year.
Good. Great time of the year.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about I was on the website. You've got a great dash cam. Can you get into that for us a little bit? Why would somebody want to use Driver Technologies?
Yeah, absolutely. So when we started Driver Technologies, and this is the brainchild of my co-founder, my background is actually in business finance. I spent most of my career in lending to small, medium-sized businesses, and I was very focused in the mobility sector, where I was getting, fleets or fleet owners who were looking to retrofit their vehicles with aftermarket safety and technology. So they'd come to me to borrow money. So when my co-founder, who was living in the venture space at the time, it was very close to mobility and passionate about safety on the road, said, hey, I think we can do all of this kind of technology that you're lending money to on a phone. Phones have come so far from a technology standpoint. I think we can leverage the device that everybody brings into their car and, we like to say democratize access to safety and give everyone access to the type of safety that's in the newest and greatest vehicles, or available aftermarket, but at a large price tag, and just leverage something everyone has. It's been proven that the one piece of technology that people are really comfortable bringing into their cars are their phones, and everyone who drives has one. So leveraging, this technology in a way that brings safety at a lower price point was critical to our mission.
I mean, of the three of us, I'll bet you I'm the only one using my cell phone as my webcam at the moment.
There you go.
Literally, I use my cell phone for every interview. It's a great webcam, and I've tried it as a dash cam. A number of years ago, I since changed cars, and the car has a built-in dash cam. So, I don't need a device anymore, but trucks don't come that way. Tell it
it's not today. I mean,
and you talk about safety. John and I are both safety advocates and safety consultants.
Yep.
So it's a perfect fit for us. But you've got an app that trucking companies can use to not to watch, but to measure, I would say. Tell us more about that.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So the way we perceive our product is we're very much for the driver. Whether you're an individual driver, maybe a gig economy type driver, or you're a driver for a major trucking fleet or a small fleet, we want this to be sort of your safety mechanism to telling your story. And being able to be transparent with your fleet manager or your insurance company about what's going on the road, but empowering you as the driver to share what you want to share. This, in our opinion, in our experience, has led to better adoption of the product. What you find with a lot of fleets that institute a hardware dash cam that's very present in the cab and can see the driver and is very much looking at you, it creates sort of this big brother effect where we've seen people actually, kind of obfuscate the camera, put a hat over the camera so it can't see you, and really try to game the system because they feel very uncomfortable. When we talk about, leveraging your own device for this, right? So it feels very different to put your phone up there and say, okay, I'm using this in a safe manner. I'm not using my phone while I drive, and it's protecting me, and it's my data that I can share how I want, when I need to. And then we extract all of these, moments and understandings around driving using video and kind of the movement data to help coach and educate the driver on where they could improve, while also allowing fleet managers and insurance companies to have the insights that are opted into, right? We're not about taking your data and selling it. We're about enabling you to use that data how you want to benefit you, whether it's pricing for insurance or to assist in a claim, or to help coach you better on the road. So, like I said, we're very much for the driver.
And one of the thoughts as you were talking that popped into my head is, if I'm using my cell phone as a dash camera, I'm not using it as a damn cell phone.
That's right.
I've put the cell phone down. So
yeah,
it's a great way to encourage the drivers to not to use their cell phone while they're driving.
Yeah. No, that's sort of our secret sauce is we're not only saving lives by by providing this technology and making people safer drivers. Basically, we released an article, I think 2 years ago, a year and a half ago, that showed a study we did over like 17,000 drivers that showed actually their improved behavior over time with our application, which looked like reduced hard braking, less tailgating, less speeding. All of their behaviors improved and continued to improve over time. But the reality is they're not using their phone, and the phone is a leading cause of distraction. Distracted driving is one of the most dangerous, causes of crashes on the road.
Right.
And so it's really, again, part of our mission is to get this phone out of people's hands, create a safer driving environment for everyone.
Yeah. Well, and I almost see that by utilizing the driver's phone, you might get a little better buy-in to the program. And now you're now using the data backwards to be able to say, before it goes to your company, here, let's use it as an educational opportunity. So just as you had said, all these drivers had realized their driving behaviors and had improved in their behaviors. So all from their own phones.
Yep. No, that's absolutely right. And we do have, we have the optionality to say, maybe you want a dedicated device, right? Like I use my phone for something completely different, whether communicating with my fleet manager, and I just need access to my phone outside of it being a dash cam. We do have the capability to provide, we actually provide a cell phone that we sort of mount as a dedicated device. And this is common in, I'd say mid-size fleets, not owner operator, 10 or less fleets, but I'd say 20 or higher tend to lean towards a dedicated device. And we still leverage a cell phone for multiple reasons. Cell phones, as you alluded to, Chris, are really good cameras. They're actually, in many cases, a lot better than a lot of the hardware dash cams on the market. So there's that. Secondarily, one of the big pain points we see in the industry, especially as it pertains to insurance companies that are leveraging video, is they're not getting access to all of the video claims, because what happens is all of the data is not being stored to the cloud. All right. Traditional hardware cameras store what I'll call moment, which are heartbreaking moment, or there was a telematics event that sort of signified, hey, we should save this video. We should lock it in, save it, an event happens. Well, as you know, when you're talking bigger vehicles, telematic moments are a lot, they're a hard break when, I'm sorry, if you hit a car, it might look like a hard break, from the outside, but when you get to the telematics, you see it was actually kind of a nice slow break. And it's just, you're running into a car and it's slowing you down very slowly. And we've seen this multiple times where a hardware camera doesn't save that because they didn't think of it as a crash.
Right.
We save all the data. So all of the video data that we capture goes to the cloud and is available into perpetuity. So that if there's any event, it doesn't get overwritten or downsampled, and you have access to that full HD video at all times. And that's been a very, it's been an alluring value proposition to any insurance company that values video claims.
Every insurance company, or most of them nowadays, are really insisting that you have dash cams, at least forward-facing video recorders of some sort, because it saves their ass in many claims. I mean, we all know.
Sure does.
I've got one in every one of my cars, and I have 3 of those.
Sorry, what was that?
Yeah. Even if it doesn't save their ass, Chris, what it does is it expedites the claims process. So if you are responsible for a claim, or your insured is responsible for the crash, you're going to want to expedite that claim and not arbitrate and save as much money as you can on the claim you have to pay out. So it's, people say it's a double-edged sword, but in my opinion, it benefits you both ways, whether you're responsible or not, because it saves money in the long run.
Hey, the insurance companies love it. Well, I shouldn't say love it, but a crash, they spend a lot of time and money investigating who's at fault. And if a video camera says, damn it, we were at fault on this one, the sooner they can close the claim out, as what you're trying is, as you were saying, the cheaper it is for the insurance company. So if they're at fault, they'll close the claim. If they're not at fault, now they've got video evidence that gives them something to fight back with.
100%. It's immutable too, because this data goes straight from the device to the cloud, where it can't be edited. It can be easily shared. It's just a link share. It's very, you can't refute that anything was tampered with, which is fantastic. And I'll just tack on, you mentioned that, most insurance companies are either mandating or highly recommending you use a dash camera in the commercial space. What we've seen recently, and this is very exciting, is historically the personal line space is rewarded for using telematics, right? You've seen every telematics program that every insurance company offers, whether it's DriveWise or Snapshot or Drive Safe and Save. They all have this, this personal lines product. Commercial lines has kind of been, on the back burner when it comes to the pricing for adding technology. And we've seen very recently the big insurance companies, the whales in the industry, are starting to recognize technology and either subsidize cameras or give, huge discounts for providing camera evidence in the case of a claim, or for using this kind of technology regularly. So that's really exciting for us. We built a relationship with a number of carriers who are recognizing our product and providing subsidies to our customers for using our technology.
Well, and something that comes to mind for me is, particularly on a personal space, I've got 3 cars. I've got a dash camera in each one of those cars, and that's a costly venture, right?
Yeah.
So, but it would be much easier to have a holder or a brace of some sort to put my phone in, and now all of a sudden I've got my dash camera I can take with each one. And I'm also a motorcycle rider, and I've been trying to figure out how to get a dash camera mounted on my motorcycle.
There you go. Well, I've got a mount recommendation for you. So
we'll talk.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's a great use case, actually. So our app's been installed in like 175 countries, and we get a lot of drivers in India where, moped are extremely common. So we get a lot of footage from people mounting their phone on their moped.
Yeah.
yeah, it's a great use case. So, but you've got 3 cars. The cell phone approach is fantastic in that market where it's not a single driver, single vehicle, but they're actually sharing vehicles across, across a fleet. And it can be, okay, my technology goes with me from car to car, or maybe it's an industry like rental cars or something where it's not always the same driver driving the same vehicle.
Or in the industries where renting is common. If all you
Yep.
need is a cell phone mount, that makes installing a dash cam pretty damn easy.
Yep.
And
That's right.
hey, in trucks break down, then they rent a vehicle to replace that truck.
Yep.
And
Yep.
now they've lost a lot of the functionality that they have paid for in the regular programs. So talk to us
Exactly.
about the app called Driver Trucking. Is that the name of the
No, so we've got really 2 versions of our application. We've got the driver app. Okay, it's if you search dashcam in the App Store, we come up first. We're the highest rated, most reviewed, most downloaded app, dashcam app in the App Store, and like I said, downloaded all over the world. We have another version that I can speak to briefly. I think it is applicable here, which is our embedded car app. So you may have heard of Google built-in or Android automotive operating system. It's not CarPlay. This is more for your listeners because I'm sure you're privy to this. It's not CarPlay. It's not Android Auto. It's actually the infotainment system. It's the guts of the infotainment system. It's the software that's built in to create a Play Store where you can download apps that actually interact with your vehicle. So these are apps that have been granted access to data or functionality of your actual vehicle itself. And we're one of the few apps now that are available for download in that ecosystem, where if you have a new either a new Volvo, new Honda, new Nissan, new GM, all of these cars have opted into to Google built-in, and they're leveraging that app store as an opportunity for drivers to download an app that's available, and our app is listed there. Today acts more like a telematics app or a coaching app where you can have record of all your drives, where you went, what your speed was, any events that happened from a telematics standpoint. But then when you download, the next step for us is obviously gaining access to the cameras within the vehicle. So we're talking to a number of OEMs right now about gaining access to the onboard cameras to create an actual dash cam product within the vehicle ecosystem itself. And we're really pioneers in this space. It's super exciting. And I mention it only because we're in discussion with major trucking manufacturers as well about leveraging Google built-in for their solution as well. So very, very applicable in the commercial sector.
Mm-hmm.
But to finish that off, what you're talking about isn't quite available yet, but I imagine if you are successful in getting access to all of that, then an electronic logging device would be the next feature to roll out, because it has to be connected to the engine as well in truck.
Trust me, that's why when I found out we had access to all of this data and it was pretty much free, right? It's through Google. So Google really did everyone a favor by talking to the OEMs and getting access to this data and developing on this platform it's incredibly hard. It's a real moat we've created actually being on the platform right now. It's going to be a long time before people catch up. So, but you're spot on. We're now going down that path of, okay, we should probably certify as an ELD so that we can, I mean, that's fairly disruptive to be able to say, well, you don't need this, this add-on device anymore. You can just have it right in your car. So yeah.
Sure.
Well, bring it to Canada. The problem with bringing it to Canada is it has to be certified, and that's a costly affair. In the States, it's a little more liberal, we'll say.
Yep. But I will say, Chris, it is available in live today. The only thing that's not live is the camera access. You can pair it with your phone, so you can use your phone for video and then gain all the telematics from your car. But you could, if you have, we've got probably 100 organic downloads a day right now from all over the world. People driving Volvo, Polestar, GM vehicles who have just seen this app in their car and downloaded it because oh, cool, there's another app. Now there's 31 apps instead of 30. Let's see what this is, and it's starting to catch fire. So we're excited.
Sure.
Well, anything that you can do to mitigate an insurance claim. I mean, every time you start your car and move it, there's a chance of a claim. Anytime you start your truck and move it, there's a chance of a claim. And it doesn't have to be your fault. We already talked a little bit about driver distraction. My God, the number one cause of.
Yeah.
So it's so easy to get hit today. I mean, we probably all had at least one close call this week.
Yep. Definitely.
Nuts. But let's get back to fleet managers. How do fleet managers use your technology?
Yeah. So when we go into a new fleet, it's really it's sort of a white glove onboarding where there's a lot of levers we can pull within our application as far as privacy, transparency, functionality, and we want everyone to be comfortable. As I said, we're very much for the driver, so we want to make sure the driver is comfortable. At the same time, the fleet manager, especially if they own all the vehicles and they're letting drivers drive their vehicles, they need certain insights as well. But we want to balance this this tightrope of visibility and transparency versus sort of comfort as a driver, and make them feel comfortable. So in a lot of cases, we could do everything that the hardware dash cams do, where it's live inside, live outside, high frequency detail to everything that happens in the cab. But we don't suggest that. We suggest, what's your relationship with your drivers? Do you really need interior cab video? Probably not. Maybe you just want to understand event. Like, we'll look inside, we won't save the data, but we'll let you know if there's a distracted event and how that correlates to a hard brake on the outside. And so we get, or maybe we just share a score, or maybe we just share anytime they speed over a limit. So there's all these levers we can pull, and what the fleet manager is then going to get is access to a dashboard online that is pretty similar to every other fleet management solution out there, where you just see all your vehicles, how they're scoring, how much they've been driving, what the events have been, and just easily accessible information that then you can coach on or share to insurance companies if they're the claim. But I can't harp on the fact enough that we really try to drill into what the actual needs and the use cases for the fleet manager, before just giving them a big brother tool. Right. This is not about spying on your drivers. This is about creating a safer fleet for two purposes. One, you want your drivers to be safe on the road and not get injured. And two, you don't want claims. You don't want accidents, because that's going to raise your insurance costs. And we want to work with you to lower your insurance costs. That's another role we play.
Insurance is always in the top 10 of cost for trucking, usually 5 or 6. So if you can figure out how to control it and eventually to lower it, you're saving huge dollars. I got one question. You mentioned that everything gets saved. So if I'm driving my truck for 10 hours, we've got 10 hours of video. How does someone search 10 hours of video looking for an incident? How are these, I don't know if you call it tagging, or how would I find those incidents? Are they flagged somehow? Damn, that was a great question, Chris and Mark.
You've got Marcus speechless. Come back, Marcus. He'll pop back up real quick.
Usually you, Johnny, who frees.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Well, Casey. Well, Casey abandoned us, or she forgot she's on mute, one of the two. Come on, Marcus, come on back.
So while we're waiting for him to come back, did I understand that correctly? That he can or will be able to access the OEM cameras that are in the trucks?
That's what he said they have asked for.
So with the new regulation coming out, or not new regulation, the new technology coming out, where cameras are going to be on the sides of the truck to replace West Coast mirrors.
Right.
You'd be able to tap into that as well.
I would think so. Marcus, you're back.
You're back.
That's okay. We just continue.
Wi-Fi.
That's all right. That's why we record
we're live. Did you hear my last?
Okay.
Did you hear my last?
I searched. Yes, I did. And I was actually, I was going to show you exactly how we searched. So if you give me 1 sec, I'm going to pull something up because I think it's pretty neat.
Beautiful.
Cool. I was going to say, if we've got the question, Chris can cut it off from there and then go right into you.
All right. So can you see my screen that I'm sharing here?
Not yet. Let me go. How do I? Yeah, I've never done this before. Now you got me in something new. How do I share that? Fine. Okay, well, I'll make a guest number 4. Come on in. Come on in. Okay, I got an idea.
I was going to say, how'd you do it earlier when I was sharing that screen with you before Marcus joined us?
I have no idea.
Oh, okay. All right.
Okay, we got Casey John. What? Oh, it's gone now. Where did it go, Mark?
Oh, here.
I'm looking at a different. There, okay. Let me see here. Edit. There. How's that? We'll cover Johnny and I up.
That'll work.
Go ahead.
So what you've got here is our login for our driver cloud. I'm just going to log into the master account, which shows, all the trips coming in. This is all of the data that's flowing, from our usership. And we have over here on the left. So let's just pretend this is a big fleet. All right. I'm not going to go into any personal fleet data right now, since it's being recorded, but I'll show you. This is all anonymized, aggregated data. There's no way to tell which driver is who, and it's searchable. So if I wanted to do something like speed over a limit, because that's something that happens a lot, especially with commercial drivers, that behavior that we want to be able to look for. It'll load up all the speeding over a limit. I'll take this is from today in Maryland. I'll load the trip so you can see here on this little sidebar. There's the trip, the map, the video, along with any events that happen along the way. But
hang on here. Maybe I can't do that. Get rid of that one. There we go.
There we go. Yep.
Cool. Perfect. So here's the video that was in question. I'll zoom in a little bit so we can hop right to the moment. There was a speeding over the limit that we were looking for. I'll click on that and you can see right here, 65 miles an hour. This guy's doing 76. I can back it up a little bit so we can see, but it's, using vision and telematics, we're able to quickly identify and search for those kind of moments. So we can see we're going 76 miles an hour and there's that speed limit of 65. All right. So that's an example of that. And then we have all these other types of events, like say following, forward collision warnings were going off because we do collision alerts with the phone as well. drowsy, distracted alert. So there's, there's a lot of data here to cycle through. We want to make it sortable and very easy to obtain and then share if there is an accident.
Cool. Somehow
Yeah,
I lost you for a second.
that's okay. Bring me back.
Damn. Um, And you know what you don't understand is I now hate this because you know how much editing I got to do today?
That is going to be good for you. You get to practice your editing skills. There he is.
Okay, yeah, but look at the shape of them.
Perfect.
Oh,
There
yeah.
you go. He's back in shape.
Drop them behind all the pretty shit.
There you go. Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Great. So,
All right,
and
so-
that's all using your phone.
That's all using your phone.
Wow.
So every safety
Yeah.
manager would have this tracking device or this viewing device with them just about 24/7.
Right. That's right. And I will say too, it's not just phones, it's tablets too. So a lot of commercial operators have a dedicated tablet, whether it be an Android tablet or an iPad, and we can operate on that just the same we do on a phone.
Sure.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, I have lost track of time, but have we covered what you and Driver Technologies wanted to mention in this?
Yeah. No, I think we've really covered most of the meat. I'd say a couple points. We do have referral programs as well. So we're very happy to share revenue with anyone who brings fleet. We have multiple insurance relationships as well. So if you're looking to gain access to free technology, we have insurance partners who will actually cover the cost of our technology. So, we like to try and mitigate one of the highest costs within a fleet by providing safety technology and reducing costs with insurance companies.
Well,
Cool.
I think then I got to point out that Marcus's contact info is in the show notes down below.
Hello. Yes,
There you go.
exactly. Yeah.
You can reach out to Marcus if this is of interest to you. Currently, you are in the States, correct?
Yes, we are. We are in the States, but like I said, our app's been installed in 175 countries. We are operating in Canada as well. And I'd say the one thing to point out here is when you go from different countries, the cost of data is expensive. Depending on where you are. So I know in Canada, data is very expensive, right? Having a cell phone plan, it can be unlimited plans are expensive. So the way we load up the data to the cloud, in most cases, we'll wait till you hit Wi-Fi. So we're not hitting your data plan.
Sure.
And we'll load, telematics over 4G or 5G or whatever, and then maybe 2 frames per second at a low resolution, just so you have the data available, and then high definition goes up over Wi-Fi.
Cool. As you alluded to, cell phones are a little expensive in Canada, but there are, like, I have a plan that allows me to cross border, and I've got unlimited. I say unlimited. There's a limit, but I think it's 100 gigabytes a month
There you go.
for cross bordering, talking, and texting with my provider. But still expensive, but it's gotten better. Come to Canada and pay 17% more in tax.
Well, I know I'm going to the website here because I'm going to be looking at this here as an option for my personal vehicles and also for trying to get something connected on my motorcycle.
Yeah, no, that sounds good. Let me, I'll actually send you an email with some mount solutions for your
Cool.
motorcycle. What are you riding, John?
Right now it's a Suzuki Boulevard, but we're actually getting ready to look at upgrading here in the next couple of weeks to probably an Indian Challenger.
Oh, nice bike. I rode a Harley Lowrider S for years. Little bike.
Yep.
It was
Yep.
Yeah, that was a fun
Yep.
bike.
Sure. Yep.
So,
But
then I
now
then
that
I had
you're a
3
dad,
kids.
did you park it now that you're a dad?
Yeah,
Kids get in the way.
I parked it back in someone else's driveway and took a check from them.
Marcus from Driver Technologies, thanks so much. It's been a great interview. And
Yes,
for
thank
those
you.
people who would like to reach out to Marcus, his contact info is in the show notes down below. So reach out to Marcus. He'd love to hear from you. Thanks, Marcus. That was awesome. Appreciate your time. Next week on the show, we have Leo Barris from Truck News joining us, and his interview is pretty entertaining, I believe. See you next week.